Chael, what do you think the real reason was for John Jones not to fight you?
Look, John Jones has his own way of going about things. Okay, this guy is an entitled brat, and when you get that way and you're surrounded with people that tell you these things, you don't think of anybody else but yourself. You know, he's now with Nike. Nike with John Jones is going to have to change their slogan to just do nothing.
Do you ever think you will see a Jones-Sonnen fight perhaps in the future in the octagon?
Oh, absolutely. All he's doing is delaying the inevitable. Look, I can beat John Jones, but he can beat me too. This was his big opportunity to get me on 8 days' notice. Okay, 8 days' notice is going to turn into 0 days' notice because the final week, all you do is make weight and do a media tour. I never would have stepped foot in a gym. I wanted to got 1 mile, 1 round, 1 jump rope, nothing under my belt before walking into that ring. This was his opportunity to sway the scales in his favor. Now, when I come to beat him, next time I'm going to get a contract. I'm going to get 90 days. I'm going to have a normal training preparation. This was his big opportunity to slip one past the greatest icon this sport has ever seen, and he missed it. He missed it like a chump.
Chael, you've been in this business.
This guy makes peanuts compared to what I make. I'm the highest paid fighter in the UFC. I know anytime you talk money, you sound like a brat. I don't mean to do that. Okay, I fought back when there was no money. But the reality is I'm at the top of the pay scale right now. I offered him in writing. I heard you read it on your show. I will give him my entire purse just so that the show goes on, just so that the guys on the undercard who haven't been at this long, that are counting on their $5,000 and $10,000 paychecks to make their mortgage and car payments next month, could have a job next week. I would do that for the industry and for the company that I love, for the fans that I fight for. And this little brat isn't going to step in the ring on 8 days' notice. How much notice do you need? Let me ask you a question, and a question of all your listeners right now. Have any of you ever been in a fight where you got 8 days' notice? No, that's not real life. You think our soldiers over there get 8 days' notice before somebody throws a bomb their way? You got to be ready right now. That's real life.
And that would have been the answer to that question. But really quickly, for UFC 151 canceled, you mentioned the guys on the undercard. What is the residual effect of having to cancel this card, not only for the promotion, but for those fighters?
Well, look, the promotion is going to move on just as strong as ever. The promotion always does. Okay, these are absolute geniuses that are running this thing, especially on the topic of fight promotion. But for the fighters, this is going to be really hard. This is going to make things very, very hard on these guys who are struggling. And it's not just the athletes. There's a domino effect. The athletes then have trainers. They then have managers. They then have their team and their sparring partners that are all expecting a paycheck. And some of those guys, and I don't say this to be dramatic, I say this with absolute literacy and sincerity, those guys, it's a difference of eating or skipping a meal for some of those guys that are down the chain, some of the training partners and stuff, to get a domino effect and the residual of one of their athletes competing. And they're going to lose out because one brat couldn't find the courage to step up.